What's going on, guys? Welcome to Who You Got with
Mellow.
and Rado. It's a sports podcast where we talk your favorite sports highlights, sports debate, and sport matchups. And you know it's fight week, baby. Another fight week.
Yes, sir. First or second weekend of the month. You already know UFC throw one of their main events.
That's right.
And we got a good one going into June.
Yep,
They've been throwing bangers all week, man.
for sure. And
All
obviously, June 11th, UFC 275 is what we're talking about. I mean, UFC's been balling out pretty much all year, giving us some nice fights.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, obviously, championship matchups. And honestly, this one's not going to disappoint. There's a lot of people we want to talk about in the main card. There's the three top fights for sure that we want to talk about, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because this was supposed to be a completely crazy card.
That's true.
They got, obviously, the co-main event in Glover Teixeira versus Jiri.
Prochazka.
Right.
Prochazka.
I'm not even gonna say that man's name right.
But
y'all know who Yuri is.
Yeah, you know Jiri.
The other co-main is Valentina versus Taila Santos for the flyweight belt.
Yep.
And then right under them they got Weili Zhang versus Joanna. Two. That's the second fight.
Yep.
And the crazy thing is that was also supposed to be a card that had Robert Whitaker versus Martin Vittori. But that fight got canceled. So that whole card, obviously, even without that fourth fight, still gonna be crazy. But the lineup they had for this one,
yeah, I mean for sure, lineup is insane. But I'm gonna be honest, like I'm a little mad that a Vittori fight is not happening.
I was so mad.
I was definitely mad about it. I mean, it's a big fight. Definitely looking forward to it.
Good styles too, the good clash of styles. But 100%, we'll definitely see that.
Oh, we definitely will. I think it's gonna come up probably either 276 or 277. They're gonna keep it in either. I don't think it's gonna go on a fight night, but
no, they'll keep
I
it
think
on the
they'll
card.
keep it on the
It
card.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a main either.
No, it was
Like,
it was the third fight.
Was it the third?
Because there's two co-main events. There's two championship matchups in this one.
Okay.
You know, and then it would have been the third fight, and Weili's Weili would have been third or fourth. I'm sorry. But I mean, even these ones. I mean, can we just talk about, like you said, Zhang Weili, Joanna Jedrzejczyk. I think that's how you say her name, right? If not, then I'm sorry, Joanna. I know a lot of people messed it up, but what can you say? You know, like
add us to the list.
I'm one of them. You know, my name is hard too, so people can't pronounce mine either. So don't worry about it. Obviously, there's Valentina Shevchenko versus Taila Santos, and that's a co-championship matchup.
Oh yeah.
And along with Teixeira versus Prochazka fight, which is a championship matchup as well. So I don't know. You want to get into them?
Oh yeah, for sure. Obviously, I felt like Weili Zhang versus Joanna. That's literally the first fight went down as one of the greatest women's MMA fights ever seen. One by split decision. Both of them came out with their face bloodied out. Sat there
agree.
in that pocket and shot, and I don't mean like wrestling shot. I mean just
punching on each other, bro.
Combo after combo after combo. Joanna's forehead was literally the size of half a football, just sticking out of her head. And really split decision. Crazy fight. I think the only reason why that doesn't become another top fight, because you said it was going to be fourth to Martin, is because Joanna technically has been inactive since she lost to Weili, and pretty much almost at 3 years, and has been kicked from the rankings.
Obviously, like since COVID's been going on, she couldn't really get into the U.S. to fight, and a lot of the fights were happening in the U.S. And when they were happening in Fight Island, they weren't. She didn't have the visa to go there, I believe, and it just wasn't her time. Like when they were doing Fight Island events.
Exactly.
So I mean, this is her first fight in a long time for sure.
Yeah. I was about to say almost 3 years. And in those 3 years, it's hard to judge because Zhang only had 2 fights, and those 2 fights was 2 losses to the then champion Rose Namajunas. And one was a swift kick to the fucking head. Got dropped. I didn't see it coming. Clearly, she didn't either.
She was winning the fight.
She was definitely tagging her ass. Exactly.
Like, at the time.
Exactly. And that's one thing I wanted to point out. And then the second fight was a close decision, win by Rose. So obviously, people say, all right, she won 0-2 since that last fight, but you can't, like, those are 0-2 against probably the best the best strawweight we got to offer.
True. True.
But one thing I love about this, the fact that they're both coming into this fight, obviously, as still close. Zhang is just a little higher of a favorite, just like the first time, because she was the reigning champion at the time.
Yep.
All three of the women, I say three because I just talked about Rose, all touched the belt.
Yeah.
So basically,
true.
both of these women.
Yeah, Joanna had it, and then Zhang got it from her, and then
so Joanna had it, lost it to Rose. Rose lost it to Zhang. Rose won it back.
Just
exactly. And then just
lost it again.
Carla.
I mean,
the strawweight division, and that's why Joanna got kicked out the rankings. Because I was like, we got fighters.
Right. I mean, that's what I was gonna say. This is probably one of the best divisions in the women's.
They got fighters,
and their rankings from 1 to 5. Obviously, like you just said it, they've been passing the title around like hotcakes. So like that's one of the divisions you definitely gotta. I mean, you basically can't have a champion for more than like 2 years. I don't see that happening because especially because you're gonna have like 3 to 4 fights in 2 years. You know, it's not gonna happen right now. There's so many talented ladies in that just the top 5 ranking.
And none of them can put themselves above other. Obviously, Rose is the one that is just above others, but unfortunately, and that's the thing. I think in a rematch she can beat Carla. I actually we both thought it was gonna be good, tough fight. But that style matchup is just so hard for her because of the wrestling. All the rest of the girls in that division don't have the wrestling or groundwork that Carla have. But what do you think about this fight? What do you think is going to happen in between what was considered the best women's MMA fight of all time?
Like you just said, I agree with that assessment. Like that was, to me, one of the greatest fights I've seen in the women's division. I mean, just like you said, her face was like, literally, Joanna's face was like, it looked like she was an alien.
That she was talking to us after the fight with that face like that.
Tell me you seen the old school Star Trek back in the day. She looked like one of the homie with the 5 head like back in the day. But let me not make fun. But honestly, like it was a tough fight, so I give her all the credit because honestly, in some points, it looked like she was gonna win that fight.
So, split decision, very controversial.
It was.
I thought Joanna won.
Ooh, I didn't because I did think I thought the third round was definitely. On Zhang's, but honestly, it was very, very close. Like I thought it was so close that it should have been a split decision, and it could have even been a tie, to be honest. Like the way that she looked is why they gave Zhang the fight. The way that Joanna looked, she looked a lot worse than Zhang looked,
and that's what it is. So the first fight, because I even looked really into the stats, Zhang threw more, Joanna was more accurate. One takedown that Zhang got, and it was the only takedown in the whole fight, and that's what edged her to get the win. So on the feet, the significant strikes and damage, while Joanna looked worse, Joanna was giving Zhang more work. But that one takedown, that's why. And for me, I didn't think that one takedown was enough, but it depended on how you judge the other rounds. So yeah, obviously greatest fight of MMA, but controversial decision. So obviously they couldn't wait to get this back on the table.
That's for sure. I mean, for me, like this is definitely going to be expected to be like more of a stand-up fight. Yes. They both have physical strength. I do think that Zhang is a little bit more technical. She likes to throw a lot more punches than Joanna. So I do think that it's gonna be more in the center of the ring. They're gonna be throwing blows with each other. I mean, at least that's what we saw in the first fight. So, I mean, from judging that and just judging Zhang's last 2 fights, that's what I'm really judging it by. Like you said, we haven't seen Joanna in a while, so we really don't know how to judge her. We just seen by her training that she is actually in the best shape of her life. That's one thing she said in some interviews right before UFC 275. She said that she's in the best shape of her life, but then she was like, well, so is Zhang. Zhang's in the best shape of her life too. So I do think that it's going to be in the middle. I think that both of them are going to have a lot of exchanges. And, I don't think that Zhang is lacking any confidence to be able to stand in the middle with her. I do think that she's going to be able to throw blows. I don't think they're going to go down like that much. Zhang's the type that she'll just get right up. If she gets... if she puts somebody down, she'll let him get up. And if she gets put down, she'll start using her legs to try to push him away so she can get right up.
Right.
She doesn't like, being held onto the ground. I do think, this is going to be a very, very technical fight in the middle. A lot of right hooks from Joanna. Joanna loves using her right hook. One thing I'm going to be worried about if she's going to be able to like protect herself like she didn't do last time. I mean, she took a lot of hits to the head. She's going to need to protect that head and maybe try to get hitting the body more instead of the head. That's probably gonna be one of her only options, to be honest. Because I'll be honest, like Zhang, like she's gonna be able like to get some shots on her, and it's gonna be some tough shots. Like even in that Rose fight with Zhang, you saw that she was able to get some tough shots, and Rose even felt them. So I definitely think that this is gonna be a crazy tough fight. And honestly, for me, I think that Zhang is gonna come out and win this fight, but it's gonna be a battle, man, bloodbath, and it's gonna go down. I think it's gonna be a decision all the way go through to the third round. They're gonna finish it off. I do believe that just like the last fight, it is going to be a split decision. I do believe that Joanna's got at least one round, possibly round one, if she comes out strong, and she tries to like hit Weili a few times. Then I do think that she could have that first round. But after she gets tired a lot more than Weili, she like I noticed in her fights, like once it gets to the third round, she just starts getting very very tired. She starts breathing heavy and just moving her top like her shoulders up and down. So I don't know if I trust her like moving towards the second and third round. So I got Weili in a decision in this one. What about you though? Who you got for this?
So it's pretty much gonna come down to how Joanna look. So I actually disagree with the Joanna getting tired aspect. Joanna actually the longer the fight goes on, that actually more favors her. So basically, when it comes down to what they brought to the table on their last majority of fights, clearly Zhang is a better striker. Like I said, the first fight she threw more, but Joanna just landed a little bit more when it came to the significant strikes. Yeah. But obviously she's posting 10 knockouts. So she got hands. She loves boxing. She loves throwing.
She was on a 21 fight win streak at one point. So.
Oh yeah, and like I said, clearly you see the damage she did to Joanna in the first fight. But when it comes to the gas tank, at the end of the day, it actually favors Joanna when the fight goes longer because her average fight time is 19.24, and that's pretty much 11 out of 16 going to decision.
That's true.
So Joanna has a better tank. But at this point, like you said, she has a layaway. Zhang's been more active. No one really thinks that Zhang can't keep up. So the tank shouldn't be an issue. But at the end of the day, as long as Joanna says that she kept herself as active as she did, I would expect her to have the better tank. True. She just wants to try to maybe take the fight to the ground a little more, and try to tire Weili out to stop that volume.
See that I could see happening. I just believe that because Joanna's had longer fights. I mean, just seeing her in the ring, you could see her get very tired towards the last, towards the end of the fight. Even though she's had a longer fight, longer average fight time than Weili has. I still don't think that that means that she's better in those later rounds.
But she has more experience with longer fights. Like Weili's never really go the distance.
I agree
with
you.
So if you have to guess who has a better tank, you got to give it to the fighter who went the distance 11 times.
True. That's what I mean. I just see her get tired a lot when it goes to the distance.
Boy, they all be tired by round 3.
And
round 5.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a championship matchup though.
But Joanna also lost 2 championship matchups decisions to Rose.
Yeah.
Lost back to back.
Yeah.
And Joanna actually lost a championship matchup in a whole other division to Valentina
Shevchenko,
for the empty flyweight.
Yeah, flyweight division.
So like she loses to top notch competitors.
But that's what I'm saying. Those were decisions, and towards the end of the fight, she is not as good. Like she gets tired, so people take advantage of her. That's why she even against the last Weili fight, she won the second round, Joanna, but she didn't win the third. Like the third round was all Zhang pretty much. Like she was.
But the one fight Zhang went to the decision, she lost against Rose.
Yeah.
It's better for her.
Yeah.
To knock him out early, and her track record proves that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I just
so basically, it's crazy because the one fight that went to decision ended up being a split decision, and at the end of the day, going to decision probably is the worst for both those fighters.
That's what I mean. I think it is worse for both fighters because first of all, they're gonna be beating up on each other more. Second of all, they're both gonna be tired. But maybe I'm saying this because I haven't seen Joanna in 2 years, and the last person I saw her was against Weili, and she was tired as hell in that third round. So I mean, that could her training could have gotten her, a lot more conditioning.
That was a 5 round.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was right. They beat each other up for 5.
That's right. But 3 through 5, it was like mostly.
Yeah, she definitely was tired.
Was beat up and tired.
Yeah. No, I was going to say my pick.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So clearly, it all depends on the tank Joanna has and how she looks.
Mm-hmm.
But since I don't know how she looks, I can't say that Weili just looks so bad because she took 2 losses when those 2 losses were against Rose. And like I said, ain't
Tough
no
matchups.
way that kick came out of nowhere. And I hate to say it because it's a part it's the punch you or the kick you don't see coming that gets you, but that shit wasn't even hard. Like,
hey
she
man, I don't know.
She's
You
got
hit it in the right.
That's what I'm saying. She got
placement?
hit in the right spot, and then the second fight was a very split decision. So I'm just gonna have to go with Weili by decision. And like I said, it's probably gonna be a close fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Joanna win. This is to me the closest fight on the card. But no one knows what to expect from Joanna, and that's the problem.
That's I totally agree with that. I mean, I'm pretty much with that assessment. I don't know what to expect from Joanna, so I'm judging her based on literally her last fight and some of the training that I've seen her post up like on Instagram and she's been.
Don't mean nothing to me.
That's true, but she does look like she's in the best shape in her life, and so does Weili. Though Weili lost like I don't know 6 pounds or something like that just for this fight. I do think that it's possible that Weili could try to get her to the ground a bit. Maybe.
Well, Weili's had the one takedown attempt in the first fight.
She did, and as far as like takedown defense, I do believe that it's pretty even. Like they both are pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm.
So you.
No, I was just saying like they should.
It's pretty close fight.
They should try to go to the floor. Like they both might have it's stop. It's MMA for a reason. Don't just stand there and punch each other in the face.
I would like to see that, but I mean, like they know what they've seen each other before. Like I mean, fought in the ring before, so like they know what to expect. So I don't think they're gonna change anything out of.
No, and it should be the same exact type battle with just a few small adjustments.
True. But either way, it's gonna be an amazing fight to watch, and we both got Weili in a decision.
Weili by decision. So the next question is tricky because we want to say what's next for the two fighters.
Right.
And it's hard to judge because Weili's the second ranked contender besides Rose. Obviously she's right behind Rose. So clearly, win or lose, she's gonna stay in the top 5, top 3. She might drop 1.
Yeah.
Top 1. Especially because if she loses to someone who's technically not ranked. So you can't imagine her going down more than 1. But what happened with Joanna? If she wins, I can't imagine her not staying unranked. Like I feel like
she's
just
top
goes
5.
Right back in the top 5.
Top 5. The only reason she's unranked is
because of inactivity.
Inactivity. She hasn't fought in over a year and a half. But I mean, I don't know. I still feel like that she should be ranked.
So I think
top 7.
Whoever wins this, honestly, and as crazy as it sounds, I think whoever wins this get a shot at the belt.
You think so? Because honestly,
no one is right. Crazy. Dana really said, I don't want to put Rose in Esparza again.
Honestly, I wouldn't either.
Rose lost twice against Esparza. Rose is too scared.
That's her kryptonite, bro.
Her true skill set against that wrestler. At this point, let's throw someone else at Esparza and hope. Because I think you want to keep Rose in the mix. So if Rose can fight someone else who has a belt, it's another fair fight.
Let Rose fight the loser.
Exactly.
Of this fight. Let Esparza fight the winner. I think that's going to be the fair thing to do. We just seen Rose last month, so
even if it's Joanna or Zhang, Rose will fight one of them.
Exactly. And Rose fought a month before they were 274. Rose Namajunas and Carla Esparza.
She's 2-0 against both of them.
Yeah, she is, but I still think
it will be a good trilogy. That's what I'm saying. So we're getting a trilogy regardless, and both of them are more skilled at this point.
I think, especially if a person like Joanna wins, I think she is definitely more skilled.
If she loses,
from when she fought,
but even if she loses, because if she loses, she'll fight Rose. She's still more skilled than the last time they fought. Win or lose, Joanna is a lot more. Now Zhang, the one that just fought her last 2 fights against Rose, now mind you, the first one was a knockout, second one split decision. So you might say let's give it a third try, but at the end of the day, the better matchup is Zhang winning, going against Carla, and Joanna.
That's what you want to see
versus Rose, and that's just what everyone want to see because I think it's too soon to put Rose versus Zhang again.
No, for sure. No. I think it should be Weili versus Carla Esparza,
and that's the one we want to see because we haven't seen it yet. Exactly. And at the end of the day, even if she wins, I feel like she'll get a shot at the belt. You want to see Zhang, who's put in the work the last 2 years, win one more, get that shot. Because she basically lost 2 times to the reigning champ at the time. So she basically fights once, and if she wins, get another shot at the belt. I like that.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening. I wouldn't be mad at either I mean, even Joanna fighting.
I mean,
even Joanna
Marina
fighting
Rodriguez,
Carla, but you think
I don't think Marina's close enough to get a shot.
Nah,
and so it's got to be her. And then Mackenzie Dern just lost as well. Yeah, so it has to be.
I'm mad that Mackenzie lost because I liked her. I liked her fighting style. She was coming up in the ranks, and I thought that she was going to be the next one. But honestly, you got to give it to Weili, like what she's done and just in her UFC career. She's obviously been champion, gone back down. Right now, she's been on a losing streak. So I don't know if she goes back to being champion. That'd be an incredible story for her. For both of these women, honestly, they're both gonna be repeating champion if they actually get a chance.
That's what I'm saying. They like top 3 right now, plus Joanna, have all touched the belt.
Yeah, they both have. That's true. And speaking of championships, let's talk about the co-main event. I mean, we got flyweight queen Valentina Shevchenko, who's going to defend her title for the 8th time when she takes on the Brazilian Taila Santos.
Oh yeah, now that's going to be a fantastic fight. Valentina is pretty much 22-3, and 2 of those losses came to current GOAT Amanda Nunes. Yeah. So basically, since losing to Nunes, and Nunes basically declaring that she's not dropping back down. She's not dropping back down. At this point, Valentina is even rose to pound for pound greatest woman fighter since that, because basically with those two very close split decision losses to Nunes, everyone feels that if Nunes was to come down,
she will beat her, you think?
And meet her at her weight. Because Valentina is since then, basically since 2017, lost or won the last 8 fights pretty much, and at that point that's when she beat Joanna.
Yep.
For the belt. It was vacant because freaking this girl moved up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop a little stat right here that I heard in Shevchenko. I mean, I agree with you. Like, I think that she is close to being one of the greatest women fighters. She's tied right now with Ronda Rousey for the most successful title defenses by a female champion with 6.
Yeah,
they're both tied at 6. So
that's what I'm saying. This will make her. That's what I said. This she really has a resume for a GOAT, and like I said, the only person she's really lost to is the one who has a better case than her. So, and that's at different weight classes too. And that was early in her career, because they was throwing early. They threw everyone early at Amanda.
They tried. There was nobody else. Like, yo, whoever's got a little bit of skill, just let it.
They threw everyone early, and she lost split decision. So it was still like she had skill. But since then, she's just straight been dominated. Like I said, pound for pound. Santos on the other end, contender series for Dana White 2018.
Yep.
4 consecutive wins, rose to number 4. Got the title shot. And this is gonna be a freaking battle. And some people think it's gonna be easy. Some people think this is Valentina's toughest challenge to date. So what do you think?
I mean, I definitely think that's one of her toughest challenges, other than, I would say, Amanda Nunes, like we were just talking about. I think that Amanda was her toughest challenge, but this comes for sure second, like her second tougher challenge. I think that Shevchenko is very talented. Everyone knows about her crazy striking. She's got amazing leg kicks that she likes to throw around all over. She'll throw them like at your stomach. She'll throw them on the near your shins. She goes like everywhere with her kicks, and she's definitely talented. I do think that Santos is like somebody that a lot of people haven't seen.
She's fresh at the scene. 2018, 2 years off of COVID, basically only got like 4 or 5 fights.
Exactly, got 4 fights since she's been in the UFC. So I mean, honestly, like she does have that 4-fight winning streak coming in. So I do think that her getting that submission against Joanne Wood was really good for her to see, because she did get that in the second round. I'm sorry, the first round. And again, she's got an amazing record, 19-1. So you can't take you can't just like take her lightly. She's obviously got a little setback, with that little split decision. But as far as strength, she definitely has more strength than Shevchenko. You can even see it when you just see their stature. She's definitely stronger than her. Shevchenko, I do think she's more stout. Her hips, her legs. She's able to like move around the ring a lot more. I do notice that Santos, she likes to stay very stagnant at some points. Like, she'll move around, but at some points she'll just stay stagnant for like 30 seconds, or at times like it is wary when she does that, because people just move around her, like they'll push her back. They'll just like push her back, and she'll just slowly move back. Where either if it's towards a cage, or people just seem to be able to like move around her, even though she's been winning. She's a great fighter too, and she's gotten a lot of submissions honestly in her fights. So I definitely think that you could definitely see why she would be the more physical fighter in this fight. She's gonna want to bring the fight to the ground. She's gonna want to out wrestle Shevchenko. Mm-hmm. I think that Shevchenko is gonna try to get like some chokeholds on her. They're both gonna be trying to wrestle on the ground, getting a little bit of positioning. This fight, honestly, I do think is gonna be pretty set in stone though for me. Even though Talia is the unknown. I do think that we know what we're getting with Shevchenko. She's definitely gonna be the one that weakens Santos in some spots. Like I said, her legs, her shins are gonna get a lot of kicking, and I do think that her front leg. I think she likes to stand southpaw, so her left leg is gonna be out. I do think that left leg is gonna get a lot of that punishment. So I think it's definitely gonna be a problem for her. But I think it's gonna be a long fight. I think it's gonna go into the third, fourth round, and around the fourth round is when you're gonna see really Shevchenko just start beating up on her, and she's probably gonna get one nice punch. Santos is gonna fall down fourth round, and then you're gonna see her just start going in, and it's gonna be a decision, or I'm sorry, a knockout in the fourth round for me. They're gonna call it once she gets on top of her. I think it's gonna be pretty set in the first few rounds. Like you're gonna see it. I think Valentina definitely has the strategy to win this fight. The way that Santos is gonna have to win it is on the ground, but I do think that Valentina is also great. She has a great defense on the ground. She's able to like get submissions on the ground as well. So that's what it is for me though. Fourth round knockout is what I got it. What about you though?
So this is it's not a hard fight to judge, but it's a hard fight to judge as in what you think is going to happen and the styles that they're going to bring forward. Mm-hmm. Like you said, one person you would say in Santos is kind of limited, even though they're a good up and comer, but they're going to bring somewhat of a brute force in grappling, mm-hmm. wrestling, while Valentina is adaptable to all of it. Mm-hmm. So pretty much it's going to come down to how effective both of them can be. So while Santos actually has a higher rate per minute when it comes to hits, which is surprising because you wouldn't think that. Valentina's volume and efficiency is just second to none. It honestly makes no sense. She basically barely gets hit, delivers a lot of punishment, demantles you, and on top of that, the one fighter who absorbs a lot of hits is Santos. Santos is one of those that has to give it to take it, and that's not what you want to do against Valentina.
Yeah.
So basically, Valentina has very high volume. Like her last 3 fights, she landed 98 shots compared to 11 for Lauren Murphy, 32-10 for Jessica Andrade, 62-36 for Jennifer Maia.
Damn. Doubling, tripling them.
All 3 of those fights ended with Valentina not only whooping their ass, getting a takedown, and finishing all 3 fights with ground and pound.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what she likes to do.
Exactly. So she dismantles you on feet, and she can also dismantle you on the ground. So the thing is, Santos is obviously heavy-handed, has a lot of power. But like I said, she's not going to be able to get into the pocket to get her shot off without getting smacked up a little bit by Valentina. So then, basically...
Would you say Valentina's like a little bit faster like with her shots? I think so, too.
Yeah, it's going to be like 1-3. Yeah. When it comes to Santos going to try to throw a 1-2 combo, Valentina's going to hit her with a 2-3 counter punch. So pretty much, Santos is going to try to use her unique boxing ability and go in for a takedown. And she's even verbally said that she is going to pretty much try to take the takedown. She holds 86% accuracy with a high percentage for Santos. So she basically said that she's going to try to get the hooks, get the locks, and try to drag her down, get the takedown. And she said that's Valentina's weakness.
I mean,
literally been saying
that. That's what I think too. I think that the only way that she can win is she's more powerful up top. She can get her down, hold her on top of her. But like I said, Valentina has a lot of skill,
and that's the problem with that. And for me, that's just like I don't know if she's not watching the tape because I just explained to you how the last 3 fights landed. And basically, since losing to Amanda Nunes, Valentina has had 9 fights. 8. 8 fights. 28 takedowns.
Yep.
In those 8 fights.
Yep.
28 takedowns.
See, she likes getting her takedown.
So while that might be her weakest spot, that's still not the problem you want.
Yeah. She doesn't get them like See, the thing with Santos, she likes to try to get those like tackling takedowns. Like, I mean, I see with Valentina, she likes to like hold on to you, grab you, and bring you down. Like,
well, that's what Santos says she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Use her underhooks, sweeps. So like basically, she wants to get into the clinch with Valentina. And in my head, like I don't think you want that. Yeah. Like if that's your game plan, I already tell you who's gonna win.
Yeah, basically. I mean, at that point, if you're gonna play her game against her, I don't see that happening.
And that's why I got this as a second round knockout.
Nice.
Because you think that you're gonna grapple and clinch with someone who's had 28 takedowns in the last 8 fights and lasted the last. I will never forget watching her. Who was it? It wasn't Andre? Was it Maya? I don't even think it was Maya. It might have been Murphy. It might have been Murphy, and that shit was so bad.
Well, that was a terrible fight
to
watch. So bad,
though, because she caught her in the crucifix. Literally, both arms wrapped up. Excruciating. Ground and pound. And this woman had her arms
with her knees on it, like
with her knees and her other arm wrapped around it to where she has no choice. Like excruciating. Like, all right, go ahead. If you want to play with her, go ahead.
But honestly, like that fight, Lauren Murphy, she wasn't throwing anything either.
Happened.
Shouldn't have happened.
She literally threw 96 shots to Lauren Murphy's 11.
Yeah, I will give it to the UFC. This is a better fight than that one for sure. I think that just the fact that Santos is a lot stronger, and I think that she will be able to hold her own as far as some of the punches early on. That's why I think I got this going into the later rounds, just because I do think she's gonna be able to take some shots.
Oh yeah.
I am worried, like with what you said though, if she's gonna try to fight the same way.
She verbally said that's gonna be
if she said that, then
the underhooks, the sweeps, the grappling, take her to the ground.
Exactly, and I don't think that should be her. I do agree with this. The taking her to the ground. I think that should be.
You better go shoot at the
going
legs.
into the clinch and trying to get it. No,
shoot at them legs.
Shoot at it. Yeah, shoot at it. Get her legs weak. Try to shoot at it. I mean, even try to get like some shots up. She's got actually longer arms, Santos. So I do think that she will be able to get some shots up top. But we just know who the more skilled fighter is. Valentina's going to be able to do it. You got it in a second round knockout, and I think it could possibly happen that. But I just got a little bit more. I got a little more confidence in Santos.
Santos absorbs so much, and I think just not even 2 rounds of absorbing straight hit after hit from Valentina.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's gonna try to go for a takedown, and at that point, it's gonna be a sloppy takedown, which is gonna be a clinch takedown.
Yeah.
And at that point, Valentina take her right down.
See, I think that Valentina's just gonna get one of those shots, hit her like with a nice drop her a little bit, let her fade back, and just get on top of her, and then that's a ground and pound for me. Yeah. But we both pretty much got it the same round. I mean, we both pretty much we know what's gonna happen in that one. And honestly, like you said, that's probably the most set in stone as far as Vegas odds goes.
Yeah,
that's the most set in stone fight. A lot of people got Valentina winning. Santos is the unknown though, so you never know in UFC. You can never judge anything.
That's a fact. And obviously, it's such an up and coming hot streak. You gotta definitely give her props to her. So what do you think is next for each fighter, win or lose?
Oh, see that's tough for me because honestly, Valentina, like I think that if she wins this, then we gotta consider her as one of the best of all time as far as women.
She has a defensive champion at that point.
Yeah, as far as women goes,
there's no one left in the division to. She's already beat Chukian. She's already beat Murphy. She's already beat a John Dre. Santos is right
Santos
here.
is next. Yeah, that's the top 4.
There's no one left in the top 5.
I think she'll move down. Like
she has to face Alexa Grasso. Like, come on.
That's probably not happening for a few fights anyway. She would have to wait. Probably it'll probably be like another fight with.
I don't think she wants to move up.
No,
that's where she lost. No, that's where she lost. Amanda.
She's gonna lose. She's gonna lose if she moves
even
up.
If she don't want to lose. She don't want to gain that weight. Like
she's not gonna fight Weili or one of them. Like,
no, that's Carla and Amanda.
No, that's right. That is Carlos.
And I think she could probably beat Carla, but I don't think she wants to. Like, she's, especially with the women fighters, because like they're finally like getting multiple divisions to where they're getting comfortable in their division. You got the male fighters; they stick in their division. They don't move up and down willy-nilly. They just stay. And some of them get up and they get fucked up because oh shit, them 6 pounds is a big difference. Imagine like with the women, it's the same thing. So I don't think Valentina wants to move. So if she wins, like what's next? Like who else?
That's interesting though, because honestly, if I was her, I probably would move up. Though.
You should. You have no
choice. I wouldn't fight the champion though, whoever it is. Like
fight the number one. No, I honestly
find the contender. Yeah, one of
the TUF just dropped. So fight whoever wins the belt. If Amanda wins, you fight Amanda again for the third time. Really cement it. I don't think she wants that smoke at that weight. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, she needs to make Amanda drop down. But they could do a catch weight. They could do a catch weight, meet in the middle, and decide whoever keep each other's belt, but at least get the fight going. Yeah. But if Carla wins, go up. Because I think she has way more skill than Carla.
I mean, as far
I'm tripping. It's not Carla. That's why I keep saying Carla. I'm tripping. It's freaking Juliana Pena. If Juliana Pena like hit, okay, I'll be honest. Like it's gonna.
Nah, that's a loss right there, bro.
Juliana Pena, as much as that was a great fight, and during the fight I was cheering for her while I was watching her beat. Like I'm loving it. She's losing that belt.
Yeah. I agree.
So that's at that point, Valentina don't want to go up to face Amanda. If Amanda can agree to catch weight to go down or meet in the middle, I would love to see that two belts go against each other. Damn. If by some odd reason Juliana wins, Valentina, please go up and take that belt. Please go up and take that belt.
I think she's got the skill to beat Pena.
Oh, 100%. She's got the skill to beat Pena. The only person who can't beat her, in my opinion, is Amanda. Like Amanda's the only one who can beat her. Yeah. Like she 100% will wash Juliana. Wash Juliana.
That would be interesting to watch. Honestly, that's a good matchup right there. Yeah. That's a really good matchup. Honestly, even more than the Nunes fight.
No, I would love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a great one for me too. And I'll go with that. Yeah.
And if Taila Santos win,
that would be
that's 100% gonna be a rematch.
Yeah,
you don't give the women's GOAT, technically the second women's GOAT, who ran the division for 6 years. You don't give her. You give her a rematch after her first loss because we just talked about it. She just beat the next 4 people. You give her a shot back.
Like I would give her somebody else like Laura. I don't know. Let her fight Laura or somebody else because I think if she fights her again, I do believe that Valentina's gonna be able to figure her out very easily.
No, that's what I'm saying. If Valentina loses,
that's what I mean. If Valentina loses, and they have the fight in 6 months, I think that Valentina's gonna be very quick to figure. To be able to figure out Santos, and she's gonna win that belt back. So I don't think that the UFC should do that. I think that
you want them to forward the division.
Yeah, let her fight somebody else. Because I think they will. Especially if Santos wins that.
Well, that's the thing. Letting someone else win and giving Valentina a rematch is the best way to forward that division.
Possibly the most money.
The most attention, because then after that, you'll still have more attention on the division on who's next now.
Yeah.
Who's the next Valentina stopper? That basically, and that's how Dana does it.
He does like to do 2 at least.
At least 2. That's what I'm saying. 3 and 4, it really depends on the fight. He didn't want to do Brandon first. And I'll be honest, I think he should. The fact that it was a draw 1-1, and both of them, so the draw
and each one
was controversial. The one was a knockout, and the one that Brandon lost was a controversial. I really think you should dish out that 4th.
I think they're already talking about it.
But no, Figueiredo's trying his
best.
Not.
He doesn't want it.
He doesn't want it. He
doesn't want it. But
so he's trying to get Kai France. And I hope Kai go in there, knock his ass out, and then Brandon and Kai can fight again.
I'm gonna be honest. He doesn't have a chance.
You don't think Kai has a chance?
No, not against Figueiredo.
You don't think?
No, I think Davidson's gonna wash him.
I can't wait to see that.
I think Davidson's gonna wash. I think that we should see a 4th fight with.
I think we did too. Obviously, like I said, it's Carla just beat Rose twice in a span of 6 years, and Dana was like, "No, we're not doing that again." So it all depends on the fighter, but I do think that he will throw this right back into a rematch.
See, with that, I think that's like her kryptonite. Carla is just
and that's why, and I'm not even mad at him for saying no, because you literally became a shell of yourself as a fighter, and then had the nerve to think you won. That was the worst part. You didn't even go out there like oh, it was blah blah blah. Like you went to your corner and your coach was like, keep doing this, you're winning.
I hate how he said that, bro. He was like telling her some delusional dreams,
and
bro.
That's the problem. At that point, that's why he's like, we're not giving, no, we're not. You need to clearly go work on some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
figure this out. Like,
literally,
you just got out with, had a kid, doing your thing, just getting back into it, and yeah, I mean, I do think it'll be an interesting fight watching them fight again. But you know what? If Santos wins, I could possibly see her fight somebody other than Valentina again, because I think Valentina's so skilled that.
And that's my point. You don't give someone who had a chokehold on the division for the last 4 or 5 years their first loss. You have to give them a rematch. Like, you have to.
But tell me this though, like, do you think that Valentina would lose this in decision if she were to lose this fight?
No, she'll get knocked out.
Exactly. So like, it would be some sort of knockout where she's probably gonna be winning most of the fight, and then she gets knocked out or something like that.
And that's why you give it back to her.
But that's why I wouldn't, because Santos is gonna lose it right away. If I was Santos, I wouldn't take that fight. I'm like, yo, I just got lucky beating you.
Bro, Santos ain't got no choice.
I guess not. I mean, UFC makes the decisions. 100%, that's true.
That's the fight Dana's gonna make.
It. Yeah.
Like, there ain't no way. Like I said, the only way a champion fighter at this point lose their belt and don't get a rematch is if it's someone we already seen twice, and we really don't want to see that matchup.
No, I do agree with you. It's most likely it would be that, but
it has to be that.
But for me, like, I'm just saying, like, I don't see Valentina winning. So if she does, I'm sorry, I don't see Valentina losing. So if she does lose, it'll be by some crazy, like, something crazy going on. A crazy knockout, something she didn't see, a crazy kick. Kind of like, Rose.
And that's the thing. Really what's going to happen if she wins? You already broke the record, and who else is left in your division? Like, that's what I really want to know. Because I really want to know if she really is going to break, like, fuck it, let's go up. Let's go back up. Because she's been there before. Yeah. Did I drop back down, perfected her craft.
Yeah.
It might be time to move up again.
Honestly, we might have to see that, because she's beating everyone else. She's beating everyone else, honestly.
There's nothing left to do in your division.
Pretty much, but
you can't go down again. No. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, she can't lose that much weight. That'd be too much.
That's too much.
But honestly, speaking of somebody that's pretty much beating everyone in their division, the championship matchup of the night,
light heavyweight main event,
UFC 275. They made it happen in Singapore. It's gonna be Jiri Prochazka versus my man Glover Teixeira. Obviously, people know Glover Teixeira. Been a champion, lost it. Like, they know his story. Up, down. Obviously, he's a champion now. My man is 42 years old.
It's a story of the old guard versus the new guard, basically. Like you said, up, down. Pro debut in 2002.
Yeah.
2-2 in his career. Then won 20 straight. Joined the UFC in 2012. Lost to Jones for the light heavyweight title in 2014.
Still a great fight, though. That Jones fight was a nice fight. It was a good fight.
Since then, 11-4, and currently on a 6-fight win streak, including winning the belt in his last fight. He basically won that against John.
Yeah, Jan Blachowicz, he beat at UFC 267. Great fight.
Yeah. I think it was a submission.
Yep.
So definitely 42 years old, still showing that it could happen. Then you got the exact opposite. Young blood. Czech National Championship gold medalist in Muay Thai. Jiri made his debut in 2012. Risen lightweight champion in 2019.
Yep.
Light heavyweight champion. And is currently, or was on a 12-fight win streak. Made his debut for the UFC in 2020. Since then, he has won 10. Well, not since then, but like I said, the light heavyweight title is in the middle of a 12-fight win streak. Right now, he's on a 10-fight win streak.
Yep.
And pretty much that includes the most vicious spinning back elbow.
Yeah, the spinning back elbow that I've ever
seen. And disgusting. Not even the most vicious spinning back elbow. One of the most vicious knockouts.
One of the most vicious spinning knockouts. Just knockouts. Like, yeah.
Just knockout in general. I mean, Dominic Reyes folded.
Bro,
folded.
Like a cheap chair.
It was tent. Bad. And that's pretty much what it is. Wrestler grappler, likes to close the distance, and Glover versus distance striker, cannons for arms, and Jiri.
Yeah,
so
and
who do you have?
Also, he's also the risen champion, former risen champion.
Yeah, light heavyweight, 2019.
Light heavyweight. So, obviously watching his career, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know him until about 2018. That's when I started hearing his name. Obviously, the UFC is the most famous martial arts, in America, but all over the world. There's K1, there's Risen, there's a lot of different ones, and
there's one.
If there's one championships, of course. All over the world, there's some great, literally some great fight championships right now, and even my man Khabib just started one with wasn't
Eagle?
Eagle FC. That's right, Eagle FC, and that's gonna be another one. So the Risen Championship is one of the most prestige though. I gotta give it to it. Like they definitely have a lot of top fighters there. So if he was a champion there, he was fighting some of the top guys in the world. Like even though they weren't in the UFC, he was definitely fighting some of the top guys in the world. But I mean, this is definitely gonna be a martial artist versus a striker, a guy that could go down on you. My man Teixeira doesn't really have many weaknesses in his career. Honestly, he can submit you. He can knock you out. He can go the distance. He's able to do like so many things. We've seen my man lose a few times in the last like 5 years, but I do think that he's definitely he's able to like step it up with people. He can stay inside, get in the middle. He can exchange with people, uses his hooks. That's Teixeira. Prochazka's definitely gonna be the one that's gonna get more dynamic attacks. He's a little bit faster. He's gonna try to like launch with some flying knees. He's gonna try to get some high kicks. I do think that Prochazka's definitely gonna try to do that. The traditional fighter is gonna be Teixeira at first. He's gonna try to come forward, push pressure, and he's gonna force Jiri to go back. To push him back towards the fence, and that's gonna be his best advantage. If he can get Jiri towards the fence and use the fence as a wall that or another fighter pretty much just holding him back like that, and that's gonna be Teixeira's best offense right there. I do think that with Teixeira, if he gets himself like if he puts himself on the fence, I do think that he's at a big disadvantage there. That's one of the only disadvantages I ever see from Teixeira is that when he gets on the fence, he does like to curl up a little bit and get to his side. He doesn't still get straight up with you. He'll use like one shoulder or the other shoulder to pretty much put you or put himself between you and the fence. And I do think that that's a problem. But for me, this fight is probably going to be one of the fights that is going to go down and be the easiest for me to really decipher because the styles really make fights.
Yeah.
And this fight, I think that they're going to be going to the ground, and Teixeira is the one who's going to be initiating that ground game. I do think that Yuri's going to try to keep it up, but it's not going to happen. He's going to try to bridge him, trying to stop him from getting down. I do think that Teixeira is going to hold him, get a trip, bring him down somehow, either get him on his back somehow. I do think that this is going to go to the ground very early, maybe even in the first round early. But if they don't get to the ground in the first round, then I do think in the second round it's definitely going to go to the ground. And that's when Teixeira is going to start doing work. He's going to start putting out some moves, try to get positioning, try to get side control. And that's when I think he's going to go out and get a submission in the second round. This one's easy for me, man. I think this is going to be... A lot of people have this, Teixeira's the underdog. Obviously, they want to see the young buck do work, and they think that he's going to take it. But for me, I think that the more skilled fighter, especially Teixeira right now in the last 2 years, he's been still moving up. When you think that this will be his decline from 39 to 42, he's been doing great. Mm-hmm. And I still think that he's got enough talent to get those submissions. And that's why I really got him winning this fight. I think he's going to be able to get this fight to the ground in the second round and get that submission second round.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no.
What about you, though?
Definitely, I hear you.
What you got for this one, though? This is a championship
on
match.
the ground, he's literally one of the most dominant athletes in the MMA.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't want to say he's a journeyman because he hasn't really got a shot at the belt, but he's clearly been he's clear have the winning percentage. He's been fighting good fighters. He lost here and there, but like he's always been in the picture.
Yeah.
So he pretty much has a very high takedown percentage, 39% accuracy. So
Ooh, I didn't know that. Damn, that's great.
What? Yeah, that's great. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, 39.
In his last 6 contests though, he's only landed 9 takedowns.
Okay, that's not good though.
And that's not.
No,
that's not good. Yeah. But he's still the more dominant athlete on the ground for sure. During that 6-fight win streak though, he submitted 4 of his opponents. So
that's true though. So those takedowns
he found ways to, and most of those times were honestly where he was in danger on the floor. They thought he was just he does eat a lot. He does learn to take a lot of hits. Especially at his old age, he eats a lot.
He definitely does.
So he was taking punishment in all those fights, to the point where he either dropped or they tried to take him down, and with his ability on the floor, he somehow found a way to get position with all those fighters and submitted 4 of them.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, some of those takedowns might have not been his that he submitted those fighters even.
But like they really weren't.
He's good at the takedown defense.
But he's good on the floor.
In the floor,
you don't want to be on the floor with him. Exactly. It's as simple as that.
He can get the side control. He can move around. He's
because
able to
John,
do that.
he did the same thing against John, and John was the bigger fighter, and John was honestly whooping his ass. So
can't disagree.
You definitely gotta find his way against bigger opponents. So if he can manage to take Jiri down, we could definitely see one of those fights. On his feet though, Jiri is literally just completely otherworldly and dangerous. 2 fights in the octagon, he's landed 110 shots. And that's a high efficiency, accuracy, and clearly bombs. Like he's putting people out. His fight against Dominic Reyes was a battle. They went back and forth, but he was really giving Dominic the work. And like I said, he hits you with a high quantity with good precision. And obviously, at light heavyweight, that precision is a problem because when you're getting tagged with those punches, you're getting tagged.
They really hurt. Exactly. And not only punches, like he'll hit you with some weird shit. He'll hit you with his knee. He'll hit you with an elbow. Obviously, like he does some.
He's a real good striker. Yeah, he's a real good striker.
He'll use everything in the hardest parts of his body.
Yeah, like the boy's made of stone. 25 of his last 28 fights came from knockout.
Yeah.
And that's going back into Risen.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like I said, look at his beatdown versus Dominic. That's probably what we see, but I've seen his Risen tapes.
Yeah. His Risen tapes, they are good. That's what I mean.
Highlight reel from Risen,
I've only seen 2 of those fights there, but they're really good. He's really got amazing kicks. That's one thing I noticed about him, and he does like to jab a little bit, hit you with the right left counter, but his kicks are just tremendous. Like even he does like some crazy jumping kicks. Like he'll jump and try to hit you with those knees where most people don't do that in the UFC. That's all I know.
Oh no, I hear you.
Or they stopped that at least like 5-7 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the problem with him is the problem with Teixeira is that Jiri has a longer reach, and like I said, Teixeira has a big problem with eating punches. Against Taila Santos, he gave 46 shots, but he took 40. And he gave 138 against Anthony Smith, but took 86. Damn, he's eating high volumes, and this is not the guy you want to get eaten against. Not to mention, this is also a guy, and I'm not just talking about his UFC debut and his few fights. I'm talking about his majority of his career. He doesn't get touched and tagged much. Jiri is a distance fighter who likes to keep his range, pick and shoot. He's like the light heavyweight version of Adesanya.
Yeah, I mean, one thing
when it comes to like being in his pocket and not yours, and Glover likes to be close in you. Distance. Exactly.
One thing about Jiri I did notice is he does like to keep that jab out just to make sure that you're not like, or he'll hold his like left hand out so you're not in his distance. He'll just like play with you. He'll play with you.
He makes sure that and then when he decides he can get in there, and that's like he'll get in there. Tag you
almost like a boxer does. Almost like a boxer like keeps his distance like with his one hand and then comes in. Jiri is definitely similar to that, especially in his Risen tapes. When I watched him, he was definitely doing that a lot.
And he knows how to play his space well. So basically, it's gonna be about Glover trying to get into his space and Jiri just playing his range. If this fight can get to the floor, then I think Glover has a chance 100%. If this fight stay on their feet, Jiri's gonna dominate 100%. So basically, it's gonna be about who can stop each other. So pretty much both made great points. You know, you got what, Glover, second round.
I got
submission?
it early, bro. I think this is gonna be early.
Yeah, no, I got a third round.
Like Glover.
No, not at all.
Whoa.
Not at all.
I think the young buck gonna take
There
it.
has not been one person, and now mind you, it's not straight 100% competition, but there hasn't been one person that Jiri hasn't figured out yet, and figured out easily.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And as I say, while Glover has a bunch of attributes, just like Conor McGregor said, if you want to fight me, you gotta have some attributes to you. Glover got some attributes. Jiri's just gonna tag his ass, and that's a third round knockout. And I would say second. I only say third because Glover know how to eat hits.
I was just gonna say that against your argument. I was gonna say the only thing about the third round knockout is that, like, Teixeira knows how to eat those hits. He's got a great strong chin.
No one else last 3 rounds against Jiri yet.
Yeah,
that's 3 rounds against
that's a tough one. But
Dominic, and you seen how, and not even like I said, it wasn't even the elbow. Dominic was getting walked up to the fence the whole third round before, like he was literally just gone already.
Yeah,
Glover don't have that tank. I said my man had 9 takedowns in the last 3 fights. He's gonna try he's gonna try 3 in the first round.
That's what I was just gonna. That's
he's about to be gassed out.
You're thinking just like
he's about to try 3 in the first round.
That's literally what I was going with it, because I do believe that he's gonna try to do that. I think that he's gonna try to take this one on the ground. He's not gonna try to stay with him, because I mean, you made some great points. Like, I do think that Jiri's definitely gonna be the better stand-up guy. He's gonna be able to get some counters on Teixeira. Teixeira's got a strong chin, though. I don't think he's gonna be going down within the first few rounds. I mean, even if he gets tagged, he's able to take those hits. I do think, like you, he's gonna try to get those takedowns. And honestly, whoever gets those takedowns, like even if Jiri tries to get a takedown,
the knees and the elbows, Jiri's good at the clinch game. So while he likes to stay in his range, if he has to get in your pocket, don't just assume Glover is gonna win the exchange.
There's gonna be a few hits like
gonna throw something, and that's
he does like to hold you and then just
he's good. He's good at that. Yeah. Exactly.
But still, once it's on the ground, and you know that, like you said, Teixeira, he knows. First of all, he knows how to take you down and hold position. He knows how to hold control. Second of all, if you're trying to get up, that's one thing I noticed about Teixeira. When somebody's trying to get up from the ground, he'll literally like take your back, slam you back down, bring you back down very quickly. He's not gonna let you try to get back up and escape from that takedown, and then he'll take control again. And every time you try to get up, he just takes you back down, and it takes a lot of energy as well. I just think that he's so skilled on the ground for me that Teixeira is going to be able to figure this one out. I know he's the underdog in this one, but I do think somehow, some way, Teixeira is going to take it.
No, and that's the thing. All the fights that he was underdog, he found a way to pretty much get beat to the ground and still come out with a submission win.
Yeah.
And that was his last couple fights. Like, no offense to the man, but that's pretty much the only chance he has again.
Yeah, I mean,
of getting even if he don't get the fight to the ground, the only chance he has is the fight itself, getting to the ground.
True.
Then he has a fighting chance.
True.
Whether Jiri takes him down or because even if Jiri takes him down, I still think Glover has an advantage on the ground.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
But
that's what I was
anywhere else besides on the ground, Glover don't want that work.
I mean, I definitely.
And there's been a lot of fights where the person's only job was to get the other fight on the ground. And how many fighters won against Adesanya, and their only job was to get him on the ground?
Yeah, a lot of fighters. I mean, the only one that
easier said than done.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I just think
Jiri's gonna tag that motherfucker.
I definitely agree with that. I do think that the one thing about Prochazka, he does like to attack left, and that's actually gonna help Teixeira, because Teixeira has a great left hook. So if they're both like trying to attack left, Teixeira's gonna be able to have his left hook be his most powerful punch, and he'll tag him a few times. I do think he'll get a few punches on Jiri. You'll definitely see that left hook a few times on him. But if I was to say this, I think that, like you said, if Teixeira was to win this, it has to go to the ground. He has to tire Jiri out, and he has to beat him quick for me, and it has to be in a submission. And I mean, I got it in a second round submission, and you got it in a third round knockout
by Jiri.
Yes, by Jiri. That's right. So, I mean, it's gonna be a great one. So at least we got one that we don't agree on.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
right?
Last fight we had one. We did the whole fight. The card the same. Obviously, we never tell each other our picks beforehand.
Not at all. And this was a close one for me. Yeah,
you said beforehand. Can we give you like we try to not give each other hints. We try to talk about how we feel about the fights without trying to give away our picks.
Exactly.
So we were talking about a little bit, and you said, I don't know, I think, we're going to have different picks. I thought you were going to talk about Valentina.
And not only, not Valentina, actually. I was honestly going back and forth between Weili and Joanna.
And that one too.
That's the one that
I knew that was going to be close.
I think that Valentina is the one that we both think.
But I should have known you was going to pick Glover.
I just think that he's going to go right off into the sunset somehow. Like, he's going to have this fight, and he's going to have one more fight, and then he's going to ride off.
And that's the question. What's next for both of them? So, Glover wins 100%, like you said. I think he gives it one more title defense. Win or lose, more than likely lose. Because I think if he wins, he has to fight Jan again. And I think Jan wins.
You think Jan Blachowicz
like I said, it was a very slim chance that Glover wasn't winning that fight.
Mm-hmm.
He was not. And when you fight a second fighter, you're gonna tighten down on the little mistakes. And right now, Jan and Jiri are number 1 and number 2.
That's right.
So I think if Glover wins, I think Jan gets his belt again. Because I don't even know who the rest of these motherfuckers are, bro. Alexander Rakic, I don't know him. Magomed
Rakic is actually pretty good.
He's up and coming.
I did see
Anthony
this article.
Smith, Thiago Santos, but all the motherfuckers are trash.
I did see this article about Teixeira if he wins, who he would like to fight next.
Who he said?
And it wasn't Jan Blachowicz. I do believe it was Rakic. His last fight would be. I do believe it was that.
Well, I'll be honest, man. They might let him choose because at the end of the day, they know it's his last fight. They might let him not because, like I said, Dana might say, "Hey, Jan, wait one more fight." At the end of the day, because at the end of the day, he's fucking out of there. And at that point, they can let Jan get whoever either the vacant belt for whoever fights for the vacant if he wins, or if he loses to Alexander, then Alexander fights Jan.
Yep.
So I can see that happening.
Yeah.
If that's what he really wants and it's a good matchup, then I can 100% see that happening because Jan gets the championship title shot next. 100%.
I'm sorry. It was Jan. You're right.
Oh, it was Jan.
It was. That's what he
okay,
said.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He wants to fight Jan.
He said he wants his last fight to be Peter Yan. Yeah, that's what he said. Yep. He wants his last fight to be riding off into the sunset against Peter Yan. And those, because he's the interim champ, Peter Yan.
Wait, who is Peter Yan? Are you talking about Jan Block?
No, not Jan Blachowicz. Peter Yan. Not that's what I was saying. Not Jan Blachowicz. He wants Peter Yan to be the.
But who is Peter Yan?
He's the interim champ.
Nah. Light heavyweight is Jan, Jiri, Alexander Rakic, Magomed Ankalaev.
Oh, it is Jan Blachowicz. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm looking at the wrong. Yeah, I'm looking at the
wrong.
So
yes, so that's who we just took the belt from.
It was Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, it was Jan
that's
Blachowicz.
What I said.
Excuse me.
That makes the best sense.
My bad. That's what. Yeah, because both of them. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz because he's rooting for Glover to
win so they can fight for the retirement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Helps the champ.
But they've both been fighting for 15 years together.
And they want to fight, make that the last fight. That's what it was.
Okay,
not
that makes sense.
My bad.
So then I think Dana will set that up then because Jan he just lost. Jan is considered one of the best light heavyweights of all time. He's been hanging around the top, back and forth.
Yeah.
Basically only losing to freaking John Jones and DC.
Yeah.
I don't even know about John Jones, but I know DC. So basically, I think whoever wins get Jan, and if Donald loses, he retires. He ain't getting a belt.
Nah, you're right. You're right about that, bro.
What are you doing? What's the point? Unless you got one more fight in your contract,
then
just take that fight, whatever it is. But at that point,
I don't think he has. I think this is the last fight on his contract. But if he's a champion, they're gonna want to keep
one more.
They're gonna want to retain him. So. Yeah, that's interesting right there. I mean,
so if he loses, he retires. It's the if then that's why I kind of want to watch it because if Donald Glover, if Glover Teixeira loses this fight this weekend, this will be the last time we see him in the UFC.
I mean, like you said, we've seen him back in the day since the early UFCs. I think he was there when it was just in the 10s through the 50s. The UFC. The numbers right now is 275. You know what I mean?
Finally won his belt.
Crazy, but a crazy career for him.
I'm gonna say 120. 21. What 6 years between
getting that belt? Yeah, getting that belt, and I mean that's one of the longest.
8.
I
8
thought
now because it was 2014 that he lost to.
Yeah.
It was 2014.
You know what? You might be right.
And truthfully, the only one that was as close or maybe longer or second was Carla. Losing to.
That's where I saw. That's where I thought it was 6 because I thought that Carla was above him with being around like 6 years 8 months or something like that.
Well, it was 2014 when he lost to.
Might be right then. Yeah.
To John Jones, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 2022.
Right.
So I think he was he was not on the list no more because he won. Because at that point we watched Carla, he was already off the list.
Okay.
Because he won.
Because he won it. Yeah.
So she was the longest one active at that point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be a great.
And now she won. So hey,
man,
the old guard is still holding it down.
Really, like the old ones are still in it. Old ones are still. That's why let John Jones get back into the UFC, man. At 40 years old.
Boy, he better do something.
Let him get back in there.
He can. He has honestly, the ability.
That's what I mean. Like you see the old. What are they? 40 years old, man. Shit. But in
and here terms, I am at the age of 30, telling me I got my whole life ahead of me.
Shit. Hey, that's all right. I mean, you got 10 more years of UFC fighting in you.
Exactly, and I didn't even get started yet.
All right.
So that's 8 years of training, 2 years of beat the first person, demand a championship fight, and then fight 3 fights right off.
You're gonna have to move to Turkey, do that Risen Championship real quick, and then.
See, I gotta skip right to the UFC. Like I gotta catch Dana on the side of a street, have that motherfucker just give me a 1-fight contract. The thing is to win that fight. And then literally,
that's what you want. You want to hype yourself up.
Shit.
Hype yourself up early on, yeah.
Start following the champ, throwing drinks on him and shit. Yeah, forcing them to give me the fight.
Well, you're not gonna do shoeies?
Nah. I'm gonna antagonize the champ, right? As soon as I win the fight, antagonize the next champ, right? And I'm at 5'3". I'm gonna do that until I get to heavyweight, and then.
I don't know about
I'm gonna
be fighting Ngannou.
I'm gonna be knocking Ngannou and Derek Lewis out. Just give me 8.5 years of training,
bro. I don't want to even get punched by Ngannou. I just watched Jackass 4 like a little bit ago, and Ngannou was in there, and they had him punch one of them in the nuts, basically, and nah, I ain't having none of that. None of that work for me. But I mean, yeah, I'll take a flyweight, but but nah. I mean, this is gonna be a crazy fight though. The flyweights are gonna be crazy in the women's division. Obviously, we talked about. The rest of them and the main event is gonna be insane.
I would say featherweight and light heavyweight.
Yep. So, like we said, man, if you guys wanna check this UFC out, it's gonna be June 11th, 2022. It's gonna be in Singapore this time.
Oh yes.
But it's gonna be great to watch again. I can't wait for it because, like you said, there's a lot of things on the line. We'll see people either retire or some young bucks coming in and start doing work.
Or some GOATs be cemented.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm very excited. And I'm glad that you guys are excited about it because we are. And I hope you guys watch us on our next episodes. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, that's where we are. We're on our podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever.
Everywhere,
Google
baby.
Podcasts.
No,
Sirius
we really
XM
are
as well.
Everywhere. I had a random person ask me at the bar who was talking about it. They was like, "Oh, let me know I add you." I was like, "Okay, nice. Where?" They was like, "I don't know." Literally pulled out a fucking old ass 10-year-old. It wasn't even an iPhone. Yeah. It was an Android. Old ass something with a cracked screen. That was like, "I don't know. Here's what I listen to my podcast on." Still to this day, don't know what program it was, but I searched who you got, and god damn it was there. So we are top everywhere.
Up. So right now, I want to thank you guys for watching because we're in 18 countries right now, over 68 cities. So I want to thank you guys for that. We got over 800 to 900 downloads every week. We're going to keep growing, though. We definitely going to keep growing.
Appreciate you
Check us out on our social media if you guys want to ask us any questions, right?
You already know Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of it, YouTube. We try to interact with the fans. We try to make sure we keep giving you the content, keep giving you the stuff you want. NBA Finals is almost over. A lot of time in the off season before NFL starts. That's right. A lot of things. Let us know what you guys want. Give us some idea. I got some fans, some friends sending me stuff. Topics that they want us to talk and debate about coming up. So you already know we got some spicy stuff coming in.
And of course, we're already a year in the Who You Got podcast. So this first year we done some amazing things, talked about a lot of great things, and in the future we're definitely gonna get into some interviews as well.
Yes, sir.
With certain folks, we got some things lined up for you. But like he said, we're on social media, TikTok, also obviously Instagram, Facebook. But if you want to make sure that you like our videos on YouTube, check us out there, and make sure you download and subscribe. And like I said, if you want to watch our episodes, just find us in the metaverse, wherever we are. But thanks again for watching this episode of Who You Got with
Mello
and Rado. See you guys next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.